Yes?
You look like a real jerk.
Well, I am a corporate executive.
He stops exciting things from happening.
So what you doing?
Well, Muffy, Buffy, Biff Jr. and I are going on our Sunday drive.
Oh, no, you're not. You're gonna play pole position!
Hello everyone and welcome back to another great Versus episode of the amazing Atari Aficionado show, where I verse two games, and they always tend to be an Atari 2600 game and an Atari 5200 game, and I'm sure so many people are wondering, when the hell are you going to review anything else other than Atari versus Atari? Well, that's for me to decide and for you to find out. Just like you need to find out why I'm wearing my driving shades. And you want to know why? Because I'm going to be driving today on two systems. I'm going to be driving in pole position on the Atari 2600, and I'm going to be driving on the Atari 5200. That is right, it's pole position versus pole position today. If you didn't already know from the thumbnail or the title of the video. Ladies and gentlemen, I am excited. This is going to be a fun one. For once, I'm doing something that's not a space shooter or some wacky, weird, just strange Atari game. This is just as straight up as you can get. Everybody knows pole position, and don't worry, I'll definitely be showing some arcade action at the end of the episode. But it is very exciting that I have the arcade hit of the year on the 5200, and you'll definitely get to see what this looks and sounds like. What's really cool is, for once, I have a complete 5200 game with the actual 5200 manual that you don't see too often. So I figured I would take a moment to show this off. I'm always showing Atari 2600 stuff. But I don't have a whole lot of paper Atari 5200 stuff. And for the few people that watch my show or used to watch my show, they'd always say how much they love seeing, the paper stuff, the physical stuff that you can hold in your hands. Because as we all know, now that it's the year 2020, for the past 20 years, paper manuals and paper things have disappeared, have gotten smaller, have gotten cheaper, have gotten lousier. You just don't see the colors and the care and just the amount of effort that went into these neat little packets of information, so to speak. So it's definitely exciting, although I do not have the overlays, so I guess you could say that it's not complete, and I don't know if these came with epilepsy warnings or any other kind of weird warranty, or who the hell knows what else it came with. Maybe it came with a poster and a bowl of soup and a recipe for how to make Atari cookies. I'm sure there's some Atari nerd out there going, that's not complete, but I could really care less. So to me, it's complete. I think it's really cool. And I definitely enjoy that. Let's take a look at the covers. Man, once again, the 5200 going for detail, going for up close action. Of looking at the race car. It looks great on the box. It doesn't look as great on the tiny little sticker. It is neat to see the engine and the green light and everything, and they definitely did a great job of trying to make the cover of the box for once look like the game. But looking at the 2600 one, it's just a little bit more action-packed. It's a picture of the race car turning. Obviously, there's other racers in the picture. So I'm kind of leaning a little bit more towards this. I mean, it even has the mountains in the background. It's just a really cool picture. I hate to say it, but this is really boring. If you agree with me in the comments, let me know. But I'm just going to give the quick win to the 2600. I mean, this clearly is the better cover, at least in my opinion. But that being said, the 5200 gets bonus points just because it is so beautiful and cool to see all of this together. Obviously, the box is banged up. It's tough to find this stuff in good condition, let alone just find this stuff at all. So it is definitely really, really cool to be able to have these games, have these physical pieces of media, and to be able to play them. So, as always, on to the next round. Let's find out which one is the better game.
This is the new Frogger home video game. Ribbit. It's just like the arcade game. You have to hop Frogger past these cars and trucks. Missed. And back home to his lily pad. The new Frogger home video game. Bring it back to your pad.
Also from Parker, Star Wars. You saw Luke Skywalker battle the Imperial Walkers. Now bring the battle home. Play The Empire Strikes Back, where the challenge never ends. The Empire Strikes Back.
Ribbit.
And Frogger video games. Only from Parker.
All right, it's time to race on pole position for the 5200. So I did a little bit of research before starting to make sure I knew how to control the car. And you just basically press any of the buttons on the side, and then to change gears, you pull the joystick down. This looks pretty nice, looks pretty average. I mean, it's not bad for the 5200. I'm definitely impressed with the colors and the overall look. However, I've played, I feel like, better looking versions of pole position at home. But if I were to try to transport myself back to the 80s, I guess this has got to be fairly impressive for, I don't know how I didn't hit that sign. But this is just the qualifier here, so I don't think I'm going to play a ton of this game. I think most people know what pole position is, and I think they've seen it before. I'm basically just trying to get a feel for it. The controls are okay. It's not too bad. It's definitely one of the more playable games on the 5200, but that's not really saying much. It's fairly bland, but it's still pretty fun. There's obviously no voices in this, which I'm surprised of. But I love the blimp that says Atari. That's pretty funny. Alright, I'll play maybe another 10 or 15 more seconds of this, just to kind of give y'all an idea. And then maybe I'll end the video with an explosion just for shits and giggles. I think those people were honking at me. Oh no, that's the sound of the... Wow. Not really too impressed with all of the sounds in this game. I really expected more of this. Alright, time to die. Let's see if I can hit this guy. Alright, on to the next game. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, this is pole position for the Atari. Holy cow, look at this. Oh, I see here. So, this version is different. You press the button to slow down. It automatically just drives you, which is nuts. I kind of like that, though, because you don't actually have to sit there pressing the button. You can just slow down if you need to. So that's kind of neat. And same rules apply for changing gears or shifting gears. You just press down on the joystick. So I do like the consistency there. A little bit getting used to in the beginning. Okay, not too bad. Doesn't look the best. Oh, you have to push up for low. That's what it is. You push up for low, and you press down for high. which doesn't really make sense, but yeah, I mean, this is not great to look at by any means. I've definitely played better looking racing games, but they tried. I mean, the background is there, the mountains are there, the road is there. Ooh, and that was what an explosion looks like on the 2600. One other thing to point out, though, is the fact that the sound is really good. There was some sound effects in the 5200 that I thought were kind of primitive. So I'm actually going to give the win to the Atari 5200. Despite the fact that it was more difficult to play, it just looks so much better. I mean, this is really, you know, it almost looks like a prototype. I mean, they did a good job with what they had to work with. And it's a shame. I used to have a playable version of this at home, so you all could have seen what the arcade looked like. But of course, I don't know what happened to that plug and play. But I had a really nice version of Pole Position that I loved playing, and I played it quite a lot. It's definitely one of my favorites. But the Atari 2600 just isn't cutting it. So there you go, folks. The 5200 finally wins a round for once. But I definitely want to give some extra points to the 2600 because it is definitely a playable game, and it is definitely an enjoyable game. All right, folks. Thanks for watching.
Reach for a car.